Yo, what is up guys? Anthony here, back with another Destiny Child video here on the channel. And in today's Destiny Child video, everyone, as you can see by the title and thumbnail, we do have the guide here for the upcoming World Boss Trial featuring Argos. As you can see, we are on the Destiny Child global subreddit, so huge credits to the creators of this guide. Of course, Oxytocin creating the guide as well for the World Boss Trial Season 20 here on Destiny Child Global. Kind of crazy to believe that we are on World Boss Trial Season 20 already, but as you can see, we do have the guide here, beautiful as always. So a huge thank you to Oxytocin and any of the other creators on this guide, of course the translations as well. So a huge thank you to everyone who worked on this beautiful guide, and of course all of the others as well. So we'll be diving into this guide on the second tab here, and I'll also be sure to link the Reddit's link in the description box below and a direct link to the guide alongside the Discord links as well. So without any further ado, let's dive into the second tab and check out the guide for our upcoming event. Alright everyone, here we are on the second tab. We do have the guide brought up already, so let's zoom in here and start up here at the top. As you can see, we do have Argos featured on the left hand side of the screen right now, as she is a fire defender unit. We do have World Boss Trial Season 20, boss skills based on Japan, subject to change of course. We do have the tap skill here, deal damages 2 times to 4 targets, priority highest HP, inflict dancing blade to targets for 22 seconds, grants 10 stacks of evasion plus to self. Slide skill here, deal damages to 5 targets, priority debuffed, deal 1800 bonus damage to damage over time debuffed enemies, and 100% chance to grant attack defense switch to self for 23 seconds long. As for the drive skill here, we do have deal damages to the entire front row, grants 30% evasion plus to self for 26 seconds long. Leader skill here, debuff evasion plus 30%, and we also do have Dancing Blade, the effect here, defense minus 20% and 480 damage over time every 2 seconds. We do have the strategy here, Evasion Plus can be countered with Allure and buff removal or reduced effect by Evasion Minus. We also do have Attack Defense Switch, will significantly increase the boss defense, can be countered with Allure and buff removal, or reduced effect by Attack Minus. We also do have the third line here. The new unit Mercury is a Fire World Boss staple unit who power creeps +6 Midas at +2 status. So something to learn here, she does power creep the Midas at +6 at a +2 status for herself, and would be a staple unit for all Element World Boss at Ignition level 8. So if you do plan on igniting Mercury, she should be a staple unit at level 8 Ignition for all future World Boss Trials, of course hoping they don't change her at all. We do have the units here now that would be recommended for your team, so we'll start up here with the attack defense switch counter. 1+ is recommended. We do have Fluttering Citry. Next up here we do have Babel and Exorcist Nitri. Of course the skill orders are listed under their names as well. We do have Citry Slide, Babel Slide Tap, and Nitri Tap. As for the descriptions, we do have Citry Allure, Babel buff removal, charge amounts minus, and drive charge minus, and we do have Nitri here with the buff removal. As for the leader here on Babel, it is recommended to run his leader skill for this event. Next up here we do have Double Edge. Of course we do have Summer Davi here only, as she is an amazing World Boss supporter unit for the Double Edge. Of course she does have the Double Edge Sword, Slide Skill Damage Plus, and Gauge Charge. As for the attack buffer, it's recommended to run at least one of these. We do have Guillotine here, Attack Plus, Charge Amounts Plus, and Skill Damage Plus. If you don't have Guillotine, you can also run Hermes, which does have Attack Plus and Tap Damage Plus. As for the crit buffer, it's recommended to run at least one of these. We do have Lupin here with Awakening, Crit Rate, and Damage Plus, also Skill Final Blow. As for the second crit buffer here, we do have Pantheon here, with crit rate plus and crit damage plus. As for aid, we only have one unit in this column, being of course Newbie Mona. She does have nullified damage over time, vampirism, aid, and charge speed plus, so she will be a huge unit for this World Boss trial, as of course Argos does have damage over time. Next up here, we do have Debuff Extenders, recommended to run at least 2 to 3 of these. We do have Self-Depreciating Navi here, which does have Overgrowth and Debuff Duration plus, Lewin here, Debuff Duration plus, and Seth here as well, Debuff Duration plus, Thetis here, Debuff Duration plus as well. So of course, try to run at least 2 to 3 of these units. Next up here, we do have the Damage Debuffer 3+. We do have the newest unit, of course, being introduced with this event, Mercury here, which does have weak point defense minus, evasion minus, and attack minus. Next up here, we do have Battery, defense minus, and Dancing Blade. We also do have Oracle Werewolf, tap skill defense minus, slide skill defense minus, and all skill defense minus. So an amazing units, of course, as Werewolf is. Last up here, we do have Sun Beach Mona with Burn and Dancing Blade. As for the speed, gauge charge, and cooldown reduction, it's recommended to run 3+ of these units. We do have Leo here, charge amounts plus, weak point damage plus, and gauge charge. Sweet Citry, back row slide cooldown minus, slide damage plus, and attack plus. Maid Citry here, wood charge amounts plus, and gauge charge. Rusolica, fire nullified debuffs, fire charge amounts plus, and gauge charge. Thisbe here, charge amounts plus, slide cooldown minus, and gauge charge. And last of all here, we do have Brownie, debuff duration minus, and wood charge amounts plus. As for survivability here, it's recommended to run 1+ of these units, of course, depending on your team, uncaps, etc. We do have Mott here, full team regen, Neptune, charge speed plus and heal, Zooming Mars, full team barrier. As for the attackers, it's recommended to run 2 to 3 of these units. We do have Mafdet here, Eve, Thanatos, Virupa, Dark Buster Lisa, Hopeful Dino, and Maid Circuit. Of course, do take into the notes on the right hand side right here. We do have 3 attackers are sufficient. Attacker prioritization, 6 times slide over a 4-hit tap, 4-hit tap over a 4-hit slide, 4-hit slide over a 3-hit tap, and a 3-hit tap over a 3-hit slide. Eve is only good when fully ignited. Mafdet and Thanatos are best unignited and a new player's choice. Best budget ignition is Thanatos at level 2 with an amp attack main core. We also do have here Oracle Werewolf skills should be set to slide tap if you are using tapper units. Mafdet here should set skill Q to tap slide 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 if she is ignited level 11 and without Lupin providing awakening. So of course do take into account these notes here for the attacker units. Next up here, we do have the soul cards which are recommended. New attacker soul card may come as the best choice, but we do have some options here for now. The warm rest, current best choice for your attackers, and we do have the afternoon nap, a slider's backup. Debuffer here, of course, Troubleshooter Mona is the best debuffer soul card right now. We do have the prioritization of the card on Navi over Fluttering Citry over Battery, and Battery over Oracle Werewolf, and Oracle Werewolf over other debuffers. Last of all here, we do have Supporter and Tank. Best defensive soul card, any HP defense soul card can be used for front row childs. Of course, this is the soul card Showtime. As for the sample lineup, we do have one featured here towards the bottom, as they always do provide on this beautiful guide. As you can see, they are running the drive order of Sun Beach Mona into Oracle Werewolf, and of course ending off with a Guillotine drive, as she does provide offensive stance. So do take into account this guide, and of course prepare accordingly based on the units you do have. You could also test out this sample lineup, as it is a very strong team. We do have the tips here as well towards the end. Always drive Guillotine before Fever, drive Sweet Citry and Mott for survivability. You may also try to drive Thisbe, Maid Citri, Nubimona, and Navi. And last but not least here, we do have Usemaf at lead if your debuffers are geared up with Debuff Accuracy Plus. So there is the beautiful guide. As you can see, the credits here on the bottom right hand corner of the guide we do have prepared by Oxytocin and the Discord communities to the English and Chinese Discord servers. So I'll be sure to link those Discord servers in the description box below, and of course a link to this beautiful guide as always. So a huge thank you to Oxytocin for preparing this amazing guide, and of course for all of the translations as well. So there is overall the World Boss Trials Season 20 guide for Argos here on the channel. So make sure to let me know in the comments section below your team and if you are excited for the upcoming units in Mercury and Argos. Now before you go everyone, make sure to leave a like on this video if you did enjoy this guide rundown here on the channel, and of course if you haven't yet done so already, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are interested in future Destiny Child videos here on the channel, and of course Destiny Child live streams as well. Now with all of that being said, I'll see you all in the next Destiny Child video. As always, thank you all so much for watching.